going to be on. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Aaron from The Better Traders and Coin Bureau Trading. And joining me today over here is Des. Des, say what's up.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, Aaron.
Yeah, nice to see you too. I feel like I should be sitting like this so that we were looking like we're speaking to each other. It's awesome.
There'll be more symmetry, yeah.
Yeah. Because it looks like you're staring at the bandages on my face, which is quite embarrassing. But anyway. So please go ahead. I mean, people know who I am because I make videos for this channel, but people might not know who you are. So why don't you go ahead and just take a second to introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, for sure. So I am the co-founder of a community called Future Trends. And what we do is that we are investors and traders community, mainly based in Malaysia and Singapore, serving a lot of the markets there. We also run Coin Bureau Chinese, where we basically have a YouTube channel where we do what Aaron did, what Aaron is doing in the Chinese language to serve the Chinese community. Because one of the things that we notice, especially in the Chinese community, is the fact that a lot of news in crypto actually arrive a little bit late. So what we want to do is want to be able to bring the latest news, the latest alphas, the latest analysis of chart through our YouTube channel. So about a year ago, we started a YouTube channel, and then Coin Bureau noticed us and decided to rebranded us to Coin Bureau Chinese. That's the short of what we do.
Nice. That's really cool. So let's talk a little bit about your journey as a trader before we get to the charts. And by the way, for all of you that are joining us late, even after the fact, go ahead and drop a comment down below the video to let us know what charts you're really interested in checking out, because either myself or Dan, and maybe even Des on his channel as well, might be checking out these charts more in detail. So even if you're watching this after the fact, not live, but you're watching the post live, go ahead and leave a comment down below to let us know what coins, what charts you're interested in. But before we get to all that stuff, for all of you people that are here live, you're awesome. Leave a comment, let us know what coins, what charts you're looking at right now, what you're curious about. But before we get to that, I'm really curious, Des, for you just to share a little bit of your journey as a trader. Like, what got you interested in trading in the first place? We'll start there. That's a really good question to start with.
Yeah, so my journey is a little bit different. I had a lot of e-commerce businesses that I started in the past, and COVID came, pandemic came, and everyone was locked down. And I started looking at charts, and I started seeing that a lot of people are making a lot of money in stocks, equities, even in crypto. Now, I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum in 2016 and 2017. So I went through the ICO phase. I did not participate in ICOs, but I was reading up about them. And back then, to be honest with you, 2016, 2017, my mentality was that all this digital money, magic money on the internet are purely scams. They are vaporwares that will go nowhere. And I didn't expect quite a number of them actually survive until today. So I was very skeptical about a lot of this cryptocurrency back in 2016 and 2017. Now, I like the concept of Bitcoin, but I wasn't sure that there will be an adoption of Bitcoin at the time. So I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, I bought a little bit of Ethereum, but I've never really traded in and traded out. It was just like buying, putting them away, and then just waiting for a very, very long time, right? Until pandemic, lockdown, that's when I started to look into crypto again, because I noticed that there was a huge new trend. Essentially, there's a lot more new technology that's happening in crypto that in 2016 didn't really exist. Like in 2016, there was no major adoption of perpetual trading yet, at least where I'm from, right? And then in 2019, 2020, we started seeing a lot of people trading cryptos. That's when I got really interested, because I noticed the volatility was very exciting in a way that I felt like, because of the volatility, you can either make a lot of money, and of course, you can also lose a lot of money. But I realized that if you really have a very strong risk management process, right, to protect your downside, I really think that you can actually make it in cryptocurrency. So started trading from scalping to day trading, then swing trading, then back to scalping again. It's always a rotation thing. But right now I'm in a swing trading mode right now, just to de-stress a little bit, because the market's been really insane, especially with few tokens. But that's how I got started, and I've been in crypto trading ever since then.
That's amazing. So, I mean, you have more history trading crypto than I do. I jumped in November 2017 to be specific. I didn't buy Bitcoin, I bought Ethereum. So I did buy basically at that previous top. But it just goes to show that even buying at the top, if you stay dedicated to it, I mean, you're going to be just fine as long as you stick to it. So
Yeah.
why don't you share? I don't want to put you on the spot for that, but why don't you share about how you've handled previous bull markets? Because I believe that we're in a bull market. I believe that we're actually at the end of this crypto bull market. Can you share some stories about your experience trading and investing in previous bull markets?
Yeah, I think bull market is a lot easier to trade. I think a lot of people are going to make money in the bull market no matter what, as long as you understand that the direction is upwards. But because I actually use a lot of different types of technical analysis to actually be able to see when the top is, and I tend to take profit over time on the top. So in my community, I'm known to be the guy that take profit too early. They call me the take profit too early guy. Why? Because I'm always 10, 20% away from the top and I'll take profit. And then a lot of people will be like, oh, you're the dumbass for taking profit so early. Why are you taking profit so early? You miss out on like 10, 20% of profit. But one of the philosophy that I've personally learned is that you can never catch the bottom and the top. Your goal is just to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you have the right position size in and make sure you take profit when you're in profit. So even for now, actually, Aaron, like you were saying that we're at the end of a bull run. It is completely possible because that's why we actually de-risk last couple of months as well. We started seeing the market getting very euphoric. We see a lot of new crypto people, like my friends, start calling me, hey, I see that Bitcoin is all-time high again. What should I buy? I'm very scared when that happens, because when someone who doesn't understand crypto start calling you and asking you,
Yes.
what should I buy? Should I look into this thing called Moonpig? Should I look into this thing called like
Uh-huh.
SPX 6900? I'm getting scared. Like the SPX I know is S&P 500, and this guy who knows nothing about crypto is talking about a meme coin. That's when I get a little bit concerned. So I started cutting about 25% of my portfolio. I started taking a lot of profit, especially since Bitcoin hit all-time high. That was the main thing that we wanted to do to de-risk, because I always have this belief, Aaron, I don't know about you, like you cannot go to a restaurant and pay for dinner with SPX 6900, right? Arguably, maybe you can say I can pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum in some cities, right? But you cannot pay with like meme coins. You cannot pay with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the coins that we're talking about. But you can pay with US dollars, right? You can pay with profits that you take. So I just think that too many crypto people that I see lose money in the bear market, it's because they got sold too much opiums. They stayed too long in the game and they refused to
Yeah.
take profit, and they got too greedy. And I always tell my community this: it's not the fear that destroy your portfolio, it's always the greed that destroy your portfolio.
So I forgot to do the thing I usually do when I do these live streams, and even with videos. Sometimes I'll say it, but I am 100% serious. For all of you that are watching right now live, you need to have a notebook out. Everything Des is telling you is 100% true. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. Selling too early, yes, that it stinks. It stings a little bit, but if you learn how to be satisfied with any amount of profit and you can just be content with that, and you can walk away with the dollars, like he's saying, like you're good, you're set, you're doing better than most, because you can't use Moonpig to go to AMC theaters and watch the latest Fantastic Beasts movie or whatever's playing now. I don't keep up with movies, but guys, get out a notebook. You're going to be learning so much in this live stream, and make sure to hit the like button. A lot of you have joined. It's great to see you. Hit the like button, share this. If you have a social, if you have Instagram, X, whatever, share this live stream. Help us to grow. Help to grow Dez's channel as well, the other Coin Bureau channel. Okay, so let's cut the formalities. Let's go right to the charts. So we were talking a little bit before the live stream started, and I got the feeling that you're paying a lot of attention to traditional markets and stocks and things like that. Even though this is Coin Bureau trading, talking about crypto, I think it is important to acknowledge what's happening in the TradFi world. So can you just share a little bit about what your macro view is right now, especially post Trump tariff fears and all that stuff? Not to, again, I'm putting on the spot for a lot of this. I told you, you guys think I have like these bullet points and I'm like this serious person. I'm literally just listening, asking questions. So if you guys have questions as well for us, you can drop a comment in the chat. Okay. All right. So let's hear it, Des. What do you think about the TradFi, and like, what's your macro take on it?
I think in the sense of crypto, I think that macro is helping crypto a lot. I do think that we are going to go into a very boring June, July, August. I think the market is going to be consolidating to the side. I know a lot of people are talking about, because I was on X earlier this morning, And I see everyone is talking about Bitcoin going to 250K. A lot of people are talking about Bitcoin will break all-time high again, will test all-time high again. Now, for me, I feel like summer is always a slow month, and it's always a month of what I call uneasiness, meaning that there's no direction. We don't know whether it's going to go up or go down, so it's just going to chop around. And one thing that I learned in my trading journey is that if you are in a consolidation phase or you are trading the consolidation phase, be prepared to get hit with your stop loss a lot. And that
Wait,
means
pause
you
on
are
that,
going to
and just to help people that are maybe new to trading, talk about what a consolidation phase is, just for a second.
Consolidation phase is just price going sideways. It's from a swing high, we take the top to the swing low to the bottom. It's just ranging from top to bottom. It's just chopping all the stop losses, taking liquidity, and it's nothing much. And the best move for periods like this, surprisingly, is going to be the most boring strategy, which is dollar cost average, which is just buying, like, let's say you're buying $50 of Bitcoin every day. That's so boring, but it works every single time. And I'm profitable every single time during the sideways market. I don't know about you, Aaron. What's your thought?
Dude, that's exactly what I do. It's like they keep pairing me up at the Coin Bureau team. They keep pairing me up with people that's like, I feel like there should be more conflict between me and the other person. But more often than not, I'm agreeing with everything you have to say so far, which is scary. But I totally agree with you. Like, I'm a DCA guy. I don't use futures too much. I only use it for automated trading for bots. And even with that, I use a fixed stop loss. No discussions about it. No ifs, ands, buts. Always stop loss and low leverage too. So yeah, I mean, chop consolidation, going sideways, DCA all the way, because there's always a way to just buy, buying low, selling high, but not everything. So that way you're averaging your entry down so low that even if it happens to go low, you're still break even good. You can walk away from the trade happy and in profit, right? So I totally hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people like to trade during this consolidation period is because they're greedy and they listen to too much opinions from Twitter and from influencers sometimes. And I think one of the things is you have to stick to your thesis. You have to understand what's your game plan. Like for me, I'm very clear. June, July, August, it's going to be a boring months for the crypto market. So I'm just going to play very small margin size, even if I'm trading, just to sharpen the skill, because I cannot take a break. If I take a break, I'm going to be rusty when I come back in, let's say, September, right? And I also believe that August is going to be a very interesting month because Jackson Hole Symposium is happening at the end of the month. That's where they do all the fiscal discussion and the banking discussion. And I do think that the market might take a little bit of a dump. I think the market will drop sometime, I'm suspecting sometime around July, end of July, maybe early August. I think the market is going to pick up now before a dump happens. And then we will see a much healthier Q3 and Q4. I do think that the 4-year cycle is gone. So it's going to be more of like every year we might see a tiny bull and then a tiny bear and then a tiny bull, a tiny bear face. So it's going to be mini cycles happening again and again.
Oh, so you don't think that the bear market's going to last as long when it happens?
No, I think let's say if bear market happens now, and it will likely last until Q4 or maybe Q1 next year. Then it will start again. Then April will start another bear phase again. So it will be mini phases instead of a long cycle now.
So I also can't agree with you more about the summer typically being a really bearish period where we all have heard the old adage, sell in May, walk away. Yet we also know that May was really good for crypto, which is strange. It took a lot of people by surprise. It's more like sell in February, sell in March and walk away. But then, of course, the markets recovered, right? So do you feel like this summer is really no different than past summers where we've just seen chop consolidation? 2024, we were just chopping sideways. Then we had that Nikkei crash in August, on August 5th. 2023, that summer was pretty boring as well. So you feel like this is going to be no different, that Bitcoin really won't have the energy to go up higher?
I think Bitcoin might have. I think we might still see Bitcoin ranging around the 100 to about 110K region, maybe a little bit higher, maybe 120K. But I think Bitcoin need to capture the 120K and the weekly candle need to close above 120K before we can say Bitcoin is going to go bullish or not. Because as long as it's between 100K to below 120K, I feel like there is a chance that it might still go back to the 100K region. I don't think it will break below 100K, but even if it does, it's probably going to stay there for a very short period of time. And this is because it's too many public listed companies are building Bitcoin treasury as a way to market their company, to get people to buy their share. Right? We see happening. That's what happening with Meta Planet in Japan. right? And obviously Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy. I think a lot of people are copying the same playbook, and because of that, I don't think we will see a massive drop for Bitcoin. But I cannot say the same about altcoins because we don't have a lot of big buyers buying altcoins, like maybe except Ethereum. But for other coins, we're talking about smaller market caps. When they drop, I think the drop is going to be huge if it happens in July.
Yeah. So I already see a great question that we talked about just a minute ago in the chat. And again, guys, let us know what you want us to talk about. I see lots of tickers in the live chat, which is awesome. So keep dropping those tickers. I can't promise that we're going to get to every single one of them, but I think this is a really good question to answer first, and then we'll start looking at some charts. So the question is from, I can't read it. It's too small. The text, Relkes 2450. Really, guy? I can't read that at all. Thoughts on CPI print in 15 minutes. So you were talking about this just a little bit ago before the stream started. I haven't been paying attention at all, so I think you're more qualified for this question.
So I think I'll share my screen real quick. I'm just gonna take the screen real quick to share with you guys. I think the price, the market price has already been priced in, because if you look at this, the chances of rate cut is already 99.9% that the US is not going to cut rates. So I think the market has
could you
already
zoom
priced
in
that
just a little bit on your computer, the monitor,
sure.
just because the sharing screen is a little bit smaller. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay, so June 18th, there will be a FOMC meeting. That's 7 days from now, and 99.9% the possibility of no rate cuts. So I do think that the market has already priced that in. I think if you're trading today, if let's say there's volatility coming today, I think it's very dangerous. So, like for example, today, the only reason why I agreed to do this live stream right now is because I genuinely don't care about the CPI reading right now. My trades are all swing trades, so the stop losses are very far away. But I am not doing any like short-term trades or tight trading range right now, because I just felt like right now this is where market makers or smart money will come in and wick your stop loss. So I wouldn't pay attention too much to the CPI, but if the CPI reading comes out good today, then we can pay attention to tomorrow's PPI, because PPI very often follow the same direction as the CPI. So then you can trade according to the same direction as what happened today, tomorrow, right? So that's my personal view. I don't know, Aaron, what's your thought? You still look at CPI? Is that something that you look at every day?
No, it's not something I look at every day. I don't care about it. I have too many charts that I look at. So I get a lot of other information from the Dixie, gold, major TradFi indices, but no, I can't watch them all. But this is why it's really fun having people like you on that do view these other charts as well. So that way it gives us more insight. It also helps me to learn as well about what to look for. So no, it's all good. All right, let's get into some of these charts. So I think the first one that we really need to look at, in my opinion, is Bitcoin. And I want to give you the honors of going first.
Sure.
Why don't you just go ahead and just give us your straight up analysis, where you think we are, where you think we are most likely going, and let's talk about like your theory for if this is the start of the bear market, I guess you were saying, or like things are going to get bearish from here. Where do you think things could go? Like you're sharing a couple of gems there for a minute.
Yeah, so my thought process is we're not really going into, I would say, super bearish sentiment. I think we're gonna go into what I call bearish, boring sentiment. Essentially, I think we might actually just go into a situation. Let me see if I can share my screen up. There we go. Okay, so if I can just, I think we might just go into this kind of pattern, right? Which forms a bull flag before we break the all-time high again, right? And the reason why I say so is because there's too much buying power right now from public listed companies, and also, companies that are simply building their own Bitcoin treasury. And we also hear a lot about governments, they are buying Bitcoin as part of their treasury. So I'm not sure how popular that is right now, but we are seeing a lot more adoption because of Trump, right? But my view is that we are going to go into a very boring June, July, August. The market is going to go sideways like this. I don't know, Aaron, if you remember back in this timing here, right? There was a timing here before we go here. This right here in 2024, man, this was the most boring times, like boring year for crypto, to be honest.
Painful,
the market
dude.
is moving like this, like just going up and down, taking everybody's stop loss. Like you could be making 20% this month, and then next month you're losing another 20% because it just goes like up and down in this range.
Yeah.
I do believe that June, July, August, potentially up to September, we might see something like this, but a smaller version. So likely we're looking at 2-3 months of this range before we go out and test again. So my target is still I do think we're gonna reach 130, 140K region before coming down. I think we're gonna have a little bit of a test there, and then we will see how. But right now, I think the market is very bullish. It's hard for me. All my limit orders are down here because I trade a lot of liquidity. So I trade liquidity concepts. I trade a lot imbalance. You can see there's a huge amount of imbalance here. So to be honest, I would actually be the happiest man alive if price actually go down, because I would love to buy at cheaper price, right?
With the expectation of it moving higher after that, of course.
Yeah, of course. I do think that long-term Bitcoin is going to do very well. Like for me, I've made a commitment that I'm not planning to sell Bitcoin this year, because the first Bitcoin I bought was like $13,000, $14,000. And then I went and sold it the last cycle. And I thought I was the most brilliant person ever. And I felt like that was not very smart. I felt like Bitcoin is one of those assets that you can really hold long-term. But the rest of the tokens out there, that I'm not very sure, to be honest. Like, you know, I know a lot of people will say, oh, their team is great. They have great products. This TPS, that fundamental. Like for me, if you cannot buy stuff with that coin, it's not viable. It's not something like, when I say buy stuff, I'm talking about daily life. Can you go to a grocery store and buy something with your Moonpig tokens or with your meme coins, right? That for me is very important concept. So those tokens I often see as a trade, meaning that I will maybe hold them short term, but with an intention that I will sell them in the near future, or maybe in less than 1 year's time.
Okay.
So Bitcoin wise, very boring my answer. I know a lot of people, I know based on what I see on social media, everyone is expecting price to just do this, right? But I think we might see something like this, right? We might see something like this, and then it goes into this channel here before.
But that's still bullish, right? I mean, that's still a bull flag anyway. So
yeah, bullish, but it will be so boring that people will feel not like it's not bullish. Like the 2024, everyone thought that Bitcoin is coming down now because it's just moving in a huge bull flag, but it doesn't really go up. I feel like we will have that kind of sentiment because people are getting a lot more impatient compared to last year, because with Trump, a lot of people are expecting Trump to pump Bitcoin to 200K, 300K, to even $1 million, right? So I think people are getting a lot more impatient. So it will feel a little bit bearish, but structurally speaking, TA speaking, I think we are still bullish.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Guys, I'm looking at the stream. I'm happy you're all here with us right now. But the likes to views right now is sad. It's piss poor, fellas. Ladies and gents. So please, if you haven't hit the like button, smack the like button. If you like what you're seeing, if you're enjoying this, hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to if you haven't already. Now, there's a really good question too that it's directed at you. So if you're okay to keep cooking, as someone has has said, where is it? I was on the wrong screen. So there's a good question about Bitcoin dominance, and this is something that a lot of us are paying attention to, including myself. So the question is, I have to find it. So it's Des. What do you think about the Bitcoin dominance chart? Still 68% in play, or are we going to be dropping now from Elf 58er?
It's really hard to say, to be honest. So I feel
tell us exactly what's going to happen, man. Come on, that's what everyone's here for. No pressure.
I do think we will see a pump for altcoins potentially in the short term, maybe the next couple of weeks, because I think market makers and smart money, they want to bring in the greedy retail traders to come in, and a lot of these retail traders, they like altcoins because they feel like Bitcoin is too expensive. So I think we will have a slight drop before a massive pump on the dominance. Okay, and this pump will last likely until August, when people are anticipating the rate cut to come. You can look at currently on CME Group's interest rate Fed Watch. Currently, most likely the rate cut will happen in September 17. So market is always front running the whole entire decision from the politicians and also the government. So likely we will see a pump maybe early September or end of August. But in order for that pump to come, a dump must come first, so to take the liquidity from the bottom. So in order to take the liquidity from the bottom, you need more people to come into the market and trade longs, to open longs. So I do believe, based on that question, I think we might see a little bit of a dip, right, on the dominance.
Mm.
Then a lot of people are going to be baited to come in and buy all the odds, like getting onto the risk curve, buying all the risk on assets, like coins that you have never even heard of before. And then they're going to get shocked when we see a massive move up, right? Because I really think that at this moment, TradFi still sees Bitcoin as the only viable asset. So for me,
Yeah.
I think to that question, we see a small dump, altcoins pump. A lot of people get excited about altcoins. Then we see a massive dump in July to clear out the market. Go back down to the imbalance where a lot of liquidity sits at the bottom. Take out all the liquidity before we move up in end of August or early September.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed over the years of charting and learning more about technical analysis, just spending time, literally hours a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week now, looking at charts, that it's clear to me that even though crypto is a drop in the bucket compared to traditional markets, crypto thrives around seasonality, and it's no different than traditional markets. But the main thing I'm talking about is the reality that the end of the year is actually the most bullish time to be trading. Like the last 3-4 months of the year, basically from mid-October to about February, historically speaking, is really, really good. I agree with you that alts and like the others total market cap, they're ready to pop. They've been ready to pop for a while, and we're already seeing it. So I'm gonna take over the stage for a second. Because there's some charts, man, that are just laughable right now, that a lot of you are probably seeing me post about. For one, we'll just go right to it, shall we? Good old SPX. So like meme coin mania is back. I really don't want to make it sound like I'm rubbing salt in the wound, but I told everybody back over here in March, even before it crashed, just like, guys, we're going to see meme coins make the most hated comeback, the hated rally. And SPX is up, what, 190%. Nero, which is also super duper low cap meme coin, pumped up 500%. Fartcoin from March moved up like 500%. So I agree with you, man. Like, and I feel like this is like a niche too. Like this does not represent all of crypto. There's so many other charts that are still clearly beaten down. And then we have like the anomalies like Kaya. This is one I've been talking about on my YouTube channel, and one I've actually been accumulating in this zone, and I've already taken out a little bit of profit, and I'm just letting the rest ride because it's insanity. But I personally agree with you, and I also believe that alts are gonna go whether or not the market wants them to. I feel like there's so much pent up energy, and really it comes down to this, like you were saying, liquidity. Like, yeah. I know that there's probably news around a chart like Kaya. I know there's probably news around, and I know there is news around Link. Chainlink had, and someone was asking about that. I'll give that chart to you in a minute. But Chainlink had a partnership announced with Visa, and there's like actually legit stuff happening with that project, which is why I've been buying up Link a lot lately, actually for months. But stuff like this, where it's a pure pump and dump, it's just insane. Like, yes, sure, Kaya could have something, but I agree with you, actually, and I tell people this all the time. I trade charts. I don't buy and hold stuff for the long term. No more of that. Like, it's garbage. Like, not to say anything about the founders or the people. I know some people get really upset when I say stuff like that, but the reality is that I've been like you. I've been in this market for too long. I've seen so many scams, so many rug pulls. Yeah. I have no loyalty to the market other than Bitcoin. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but I realize the viability of it, just like the governments do, right? So like when I see stuff like this, I'm excited for the project. I'm excited for people trading it, but this is completely inorganic, 100% inorganic. The fact that volume today is what, 7 times the average is stupid for like what? This just low cap coin on, and it's not even Kaya. It's also AXL on Binance pumped also like massively. Just pump. That's clear pump and dump. Volume was almost $100 million, where the average before it was 1.5 million the day before. Like what is this if not just a pump and dump? But could it go higher? Yeah, because it's crypto, right? So like I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but to prove the point, like to make the point, not prove the point, that I still fully agree with you that alts are going to pump whether we want them to or not. So before we look at more charts, you actually hinted at this before, but I would love for you to share, how do you handle it when the charts are pumping? Like when we get this alt rally that you're talking about, how are you preparing yourself to trade something like that? Are you looking to jump into positions? Are you looking to short the market? Are you looking at specific targets? Like how do you approach the market when it's getting pumpy like this?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen right now.
Yeah.
Obviously I missed out on Kaya, the pump. I didn't accumulate
Yes.
here. But if I did not accumulate here, I'll look at the next opportunity, which is where likely the price is going to halt or touch, right? So usually I just do very good old simple supply and demand zones, because this is the most simple and most effective for me, especially on a high time frame. So for me, Kaya can potentially pump all the way to this price point here of 0.1915, around this region here. So what I'll do is that I will actually put a short order here and try to short the correction. So that's what I did with XLR yesterday. But with shorts like this, we don't hold overnight because the market is too bullish, because we do not know what will happen. So it's usually one of those scalping or very short-term positions that you hold for a few hours. You wouldn't be holding this overnight to sleep, right? So just want to be clear. So at a Future Trends, my community, what we do is that how we got started was during the bear market. And during the bear market, what we did was that we noticed nothing should be pumping, but even some coins with no fundamental news are pumping for no reason. Like we see candles like this. Like it's insane. Like we see some coins that have no products. We don't even know who the management or the leadership team is, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing that justify a pump, but it pumps, right? That's when I realized that actually in countries like South Korea, there are a lot of like pump and dump syndicates, because a lot of people, they do not know how to trade. They only buy spot, right? And these are like real like non Web3 people that wants to enter Web3. So they will just listen to some influencer, they'll listen to some thought leaders, some community leaders, like Telegram community leaders, what to buy. So many times what we notice is that a lot of these Telegram community leaders, they are actually already accumulating during this consolidation phase. And the moment they release the news, or they do a press release, a good news comes out, then the Telegram community leader is going to just sell, and we see a huge dump. So in bear market is very easy to trade, especially if you're a trader, because if you see an inorganic, unnatural pump like this, you need to start drawing out your Fibonacci. You need to start drawing out your supply zones, because you got to start shorting, especially in the bear market. But right now, technically, we are still in the bullish phase of the market. So if you're shorting a pump like this, be very careful. I would rather put it at a very high time frame supply zone. So we just want that candle to touch our supply zone, open our entry, and then once we're in profit, we quickly move our stop loss to entry, and then we're golden. That's a very simple strategy.
Yeah. Why don't you take a second as well? Like let's look at some more charts, because we're doing real well. We're halfway through the stream. If you guys like what you're seeing so far, go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure that you share this live stream. Let's get the views up. Let's get more people on here to learn from Des, because he's our fantastic guest down there. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at some of these charts that people are asking about? And I think the next one that we really need to look at is probably Ethereum, as I like to call it, F. And it really upsets people when I say F. I actually have people correct me in the comments when I say F. So for some reason, people don't like it when I say F. Just poke.
Okay, let me just change my screen share. I just want
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, while we're waiting for Des to pull that up, again, I see a lot of comments in here, which is fantastic. There's a lot of tickers in here that are coming up as well. But don't be afraid to ask about obscure ones. So you don't have to feel like, okay, well, butterfly fart, like that's the one I really want to know about. Like as long as we can find on TradingView, you guys go ahead and just drop it in the chat. Please don't let there be a butterfly fart. Memecoin, do not make one based off of that. That's a stupid idea. No one will buy it. All right, let me know when you're ready, man. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. So I'm looking at the Ethereum chart right now. So Ethereum is one of the play that I would prefer to buy spot compared to trading futures with it, mainly because we see a lot of, when you see a lot of candles like this, it actually shows that the market is uncertain. It wants to go down to take liquidity, but it also wants to go up and continue the momentum, right? And one thing we can see is that for those of you who trade support resistance, right, this is an obvious area that you need to pay attention to, because this is also an area of supply. And when the whole candle actually goes in, so now we become very bullish, right? Ethereum, I think, likely will tag $3,000. Okay, if I'm not wrong, let me just quickly draw my Fibonacci again. I think it's likely going to tag the $3,000 region, and then before coming down and retest this area here. But one of the concerns that I often have with Ethereum is, I was telling my members and telling my viewers as well, I'm very concerned because this pump here is too much. Is too much, and many times we see imbalance like this. Price often will come up here, maybe it'll touch this area here about $3,000, and then it might actually come back down, take the liquidity. So this becomes like a high time frame false breakout, right? So for me, I felt like because the price has not came down to take the 618 and also the fair value gap in this area here. So for those of you who maybe you're unaware, when you see a large candle like this, it leaves a huge gap in the middle. There's tons of liquidity here. Price tends to revisit this area to take liquidity before moving up. So what I'm thinking is, if you draw the Fibonacci again, price likely might go to 3,100 area or 3,200 area. So my plan right now is very simple. I think price might really just go up here, touch this, and then this is when we start going to July. That's why earlier on I was telling everybody that, hey, you have to be careful in July, because I think we might see a dump. I think the dump is going to take price back to $2,000 level, take liquidity. Fair value gap and Fibonacci says that this area is a very frequently visited area for price. So then I think only price will move out from there, which is why my thesis for Ethereum is, I think we will see a pump, but a very small pump all the way to this area here, maybe, because there's also a very strong supply zone in this area. Okay, so if I draw for those of you who maybe you want to see where the supply zone area is. Okay, so this is the supply zone area here. So my view is price is going to continue to pump. We're going to go into the 3,166, maybe 3,100 or 3,200 area, right? Somewhere around here. And then price likely will visit to 618 again, because there's a fair value gap, there's a 618 area here. So I just think there's a lot of leftover liquidity. And if we know that smart money wants to accumulate Ethereum, especially BlackRock and all these big companies want to accumulate Ethereum, they will find a way to push price down. They'll release the news, maybe Ethereum got hacked, maybe terrorists are buying Ethereum, I don't know. Then Ethereum is going to go all the way down.
Yeah, or they'll just let the CEO talk online and just talk about how make communism great again, stuff like that.
Oh man, man, we don't want that. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So Ethereum.
Yeah, go ahead, wrap it up.
Yeah, so that's my view for Ethereum, guys. So for me, I would not buy now. I always have this very simple rule: never buy at resistance. Okay, we're at the resistance right now. Buying now, you might end up needing to hold this for another few months. My buy price, I make it very clear to my viewers as well: $2,000. I think it's a very easy flat price. It's a rounded figure. I think that's a number that likely a lot of people will put their buy orders there. Hence, there's a lot of limit orders there. And hence, I also think there's a lot of liquidity in that region. It's also very close to the 618. So I think price likely will go over there, touch it, and then go all the way up. And then we'll see a very bullish Q3, Q4 for Ethereum.
What do you think the top is for Ethereum this year then? Because I'm personally I'll be happy with it, even just retracing back up to 5K, the previous all-time high set in November 2021. But what do you think?
So I'm known to be a little bit bearish. A lot of people say I'm very bearish. I like to think that I'm more realistic than bearish.
Just interpret it as being realistic. It's okay, but go ahead.
so for me, it's 3.7.
Oof. So, oh man, my camera just spazzed out because of that.
And let me explain why. I have a reason for and I'm an Ethereum bull,
please.
You guys know.
Good.
We bought Ethereum at 1,005, 1,006, 1,007. We are DCing all the way around this region. But I want you to know why I feel like the price potential for Ethereum would not go beyond this. And the reason is because I think the moment Ethereum goes above 3,500, we start to see, I would say, the more educated Web3 retail come back. The people that maybe left crypto for 1 to 2 years and then now they come back, or they left crypto for a few months and then they come back. But the first thing they buy will not be Ethereum. They'll be looking into SUI, they'll be looking into Solana, maybe Aptos
Mm,
because of how low the FDV is right now, right? So
mm-hmm.
likely people will not be looking into Ethereum. So we will not see a lot of liquidity going into Ethereum unless, and this is, it could happen, it could not happen, unless we start seeing huge entity, perhaps government organizations, perhaps even like banks start buying Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't see Ethereum going above 3,007.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, this is the thing that a lot of people watching right now, and I appreciate you guys. I know that we're throwing a lot of stuff, a lot of opinions that we have, but it's like all you have to do. I mean, just look at the chart for Bitcoin. Like I'm gonna swap again with you real quick. I just want to help you guys understand why we're talking like this. So Bitcoin, naked chart, weekly time frame, no indicators, no nothing. It was down here at 15,000. It's up 622% already. It's had a really good run. I'm not saying that the market's going to die right now. Neither is Des. He's not saying that Ethereum's done now. But you have to realize, look at the time too. We are 135 weeks into this reversal from the bottom to the top. Now, it's really dumb to say that the bull market starts here. It didn't. It started back over here in October, my opinion, 2023. But we are nearing the late stage of this bull market. So having an opinion like Des to look at 3,700, like just make it a target. Just keep like a pin, right? I mean, you can also like keep the timestamp for the video to be like, ha ha ha. No, it's at 3,800. It's not 3,700. Ha ha. But understand that in the big grand scale of the crypto bull market, which Bitcoin is leading 100%, we are definitely near the late stages of this bull market. So if you are being deceived into thinking, oh yeah, 250K, 500K is on the table, just reduce those numbers in half. I think that's like a reasonable target for a lot of stuff. So let's go deeper talking about altcoins, because I keep seeing more coins. And you mentioned that a lot of retail probably won't gravitate to Ethereum. I also think that people look at the price point and they go, I don't have $2,000, but I do have like a couple of cents to do something like you said, like Aptos, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I can spend $5 on Aptos, sure. And I agree actually with that line of thinking. I think price point, and Dan does too, my co-host on the Coin Bureau Trading channel. So like looking at Aptos, yeah, I'll buy some Aptos down here, $5, sure. It's basically the same as like buying some shares of like a tech company or like a medical company, instead of like trying to, like, people just don't understand, normies don't understand crypto where you can buy fractional amounts of everything, right? Yeah. So if you think about it that way, Aptos looks so much more, as far as a risk to reward ratio goes, way more appealing compared to something like Ethereum or Bitcoin. Or even looking at SUI at like $3.50. Yes, it's already shot up a ton from 2024. But still, it's risk to reward side, like it has so much more potential because of the price. So with that said, in speaking about alts, how much of a factor is price for you, Des? Are you ever thinking about the prices of these coins, whether they're OG coins like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, or they're new coins like Hypecoin or Aptos, which is relatively new, or like Ton? Does that factor into your investment thesis at all?
Not so much price, but more towards fully diluted valuation, FDVs. So like for me, I think Hype is a great project, great product, great protocol. But I felt like right now it's extremely overvalued. I think if you compare it to other decentralized perpetual DEX out there, I think Hype is just insane, like the valuation, right? So for me, would I buy Hype right now? I think probably not, because I just think it's too expensive. So for me, I have a very simple rule. If I'm investing into a token, I need to buy cheap, right? The token needs to be cheap. If I feel like it's too expensive, I'll skip. It's like buying something. If you buy too high price, it's very hard for you to sell later because you don't have so much demand for that high price, right? So for me, I see the price of the token like a business. You're buying and selling. You want to buy low and then you want to sell high. But like for example, Hype right now, I feel that the price is really high. Can it go higher? Probably. But right now it's already very high for me. So if I feel like it's very high for me, I tend to want to avoid it, but I will trade it, meaning that I will use futures and I will use perps to actually trade it just to capture gains. But I wouldn't buy and hold it.
Oh, interesting. So I'm actually opposed to you on this, where I guess I've been living in Japan too long. If I see something that is increased in value over time and it keeps going up, like I don't mind jumping into the middle of a trend that's moving up, but I don't jump in with full size ever. I use DCA approach where I just scale in a little bit. And when the pullback happens, then I'm going to be buying a little bit more. And then when a bounce comes, I'll de-risk a little bit, let it ride up a little bit more. So I am trading it. I'm not just buying and like aping into the top of any of these coins that are like pumping like crazy. But I do think that there's strength in following the trend. This is an aside. I really need to get to a lot of these chart requests that people have. Let's talk about some of these other coins that people are asking about. I had someone asking about ICP. There was some good news that or not ICP. Yeah. But ICP didn't have news. It was Chainlink. But let's do those ones next. Can you go ahead and queue up those charts for us?
ICP, sure. Okay, I actually had a trade for ICP that already took profit.
Nice.
Simple supply and demand. So I wouldn't chase ICP right now, mainly because it's sitting in the supply zone at this moment. How far can it go? I think it will go over to this area here. You can see there's a huge block of potential supply zone in this area here. 382 and 618 sits inside. So I think maximum the price will go into $6.57 or 58 cents, somewhere around this region before rejecting down. That's the max I think it could go. But I think we are very close to resistance right now. If you're buying right now, I think it's too late. I would rather wait until the reaction here, see what happens when the candle touches this area, and then we decide then. But at this moment, I wouldn't be buying ICP right now.
Okay, fair enough. And way to go on the trade. Proof in the pudding. All right, why don't you pull up the chart for Chainlink? Take a look at that.
Okay, let's take a look at Chainlink. Okay, Chainlink wise, it's moving very similarly to a lot of the older coins here, the OG coins. So I just feel like it's just in consolidation right now. For me, I think if you just draw the range like this is the range high, and then you can see this could be a deviation or a liquidity tap, depending on what theory you uses for trading. I think it's just sitting in a range right now, so we're not sure where it would go. So in cases like this is where you use the DCA approach. I wouldn't be trading this chart right now because we don't see a very clear trend on the day chart.
All right, fair enough.
Very boring answer. I think everyone is expecting 100x leverage long.
Yeah, 100x leverage. Let's go. Let's keep this doing. Let's keep this going. Why don't you prep S, which is Sonic, where it used to be Phantom, and Dot, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump on some of these too. Hold on a second. I saw someone asking for Near, and I saw that one come up before. I don't really care about projects per se. I care more about volume and liquidity, like you do. So the main thing, like when people ask about stuff, it's probably because they bought in a little bit higher. No offense, it's okay. And there's still opportunities for a lot of these charts to go up higher. The main thing, though, that I pay attention to is their strength according to volume. So that's why I have this little moving average on this volume converter. The main thing that I don't like about Near, and trust me, it's one I'm actually holding, so I don't mind sharing this one because it's a reminder to myself too. There's no real strong trend with volume, which is okay because it's not necessarily dumping. So the volume is just kind of flat and looking dead. Looking at the price action, it's chopping, very similar to Link actually, if not almost identical. It's a little bit weird. But the main thing I like about Near, and the reason why I'm trading it, is because it's just trying its little heart right now. It's trying its best to really break out. And it kind of did, and it kind of didn't. it's really struggling. But for me, it's about risk to reward. I mean, I feel like there's a good upside potential for a chart like Near. The one thing that I
Agreed.
always do, as well as you, is like, okay, is this really overpriced though for where it is? And then I need to zoom out to the weekly and then measure it out to see. I mean, I agree. There's nothing wrong with buying stuff on the cheap, on a discount. It's hard to time the bottom, but it's great to buy near the bottom. Since Near is closest to the 236, I mean, if things get crazy and overheated, yeah, I mean, it would be great. But right now, no, it's dead. It's in accumulation. It's in, or as you would say, it's in consolidation. There's another one that I saw going up here. Oh, Permabear show. Ah, come on. And yes, I saw the comment about me saying 180,000. No, that's not correct. My top target is still 173K, to be honest, to be precise. Someone else was asking about Cardano. Both Cardano and XRP are, I don't like them. I think that I just don't see any. I just, there's so much hype around them and nothing happens. These charts are more boring than some of the stocks that I follow. Like, it's embarrassing. You guys should feel really ashamed of yourselves. If you guys are the ADA army, Cardano army, XRP army, and they're like 4% is a big day for XRP, shame on you. Shame. But seriously, like, I don't really see the appeal of Cardano. I don't care about the tech. I just look at the chart and go, gosh, it's had all this time while the market's been so bullish, and it's still trapped here, not even halfway back to its all-time high. So could it go up from here? Sure. Is the tech decent? It could be. But I mean, is Charles Hoskinson an eccentric guy who likes falcons and has pigs? He is. So he doesn't really instill a lot of confidence as a person, or as like someone to trust with my money personally. But that's me. Maybe that speaks to you. Maybe you have your own pigs, and it's like, oh, why wouldn't you like pigs, Aaron? That's so rude. But again, I mean, looking at the chart, I just don't see demand. Same thing for XRP. No demand. It's already pumped up. For a chart that's been literally cursed for years, it's at the top of its range. Why would XRP go to $1 million? Why would it even go up to $100? It makes no sense. None whatsoever to me. But this is the thing I'll close with, and I'll pass the baton to you. Will I be cheering for people that are holding ADA and XRP when the prices go up? Oh, yes, 100%. I will be cheering you on as you make your profits, as you should be cheering everyone else on when they're making profits. It doesn't have to be a one-sided game. And it's not this whole like giving back to the universe thing. It's just being a kind person. When people are winning, cheer them on. Not that you're going to get it in return, some sort of like karma knockback, cosmic knockback or something, but just do it. Like, just be a human being that's kind. So cheers to you if you hold XRP and ADA and you're holding for the moon. I hope you hit the moon. I really do. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so there was a request for Sonic. Now, I just want to let you guys know that I'm not a big fan of this token. And I know a lot of the crypto fundamentalists and the Web3 people who are really deep in the trenches. A lot of people like Sonic, mainly because they say it's a better tech. A lot of people say the team is fantastic. Now, I've been in crypto long enough to know that doesn't matter as much as you think. At the end of the day, people only look at prices. People only look at whether they're in profits or not. I think that's the main thing. So for me, this chart is just not very healthy for me. Like, it's just, there's no strength to pump it up. We're not seeing like any patterns or anything that we want to pay attention to. Like, for me, what I hope that it will happen is we start seeing a curve here, right? Then we start seeing a curve here, then we might be seeing an accumulation pattern happening here. But right now, there's really nothing much to see here. If you buy now, for me personally, obviously not financial advice, because this thing can just rip to the moon tomorrow. But I don't see anything happening here. So what if, this is like a coin flip. If you buy here, it's like a coin flip. They could make an announcement. They could launch their own stable coin. They could have like some new DeFi 3.0 technology. This thing can just pump. But I think maximum it will go is this area here, which is the 60 cents area, right? And I just think that there's not enough there's too many layer ones. There's too many chains out there. There's SUI, there's Solana, there's Say, there's Aptos. There's so much better, in my opinion, at doing marketing. Like, for example, SUI. I love SUI. And the reason why I like them is because they're so good at gaining awareness. They're so good at marketing. I've never seen a crypto company that is so good at doing branding, marketing, and awareness, right? Because most crypto company, you see, they are builders and they say my product is the best, like Cardano, right? My product is the best, my chain is the best, but nobody uses it, right? But SUI, they never say they're the best, but they're very good at getting people on board the SUI trade. So I like that. So that's, for me personally, I do not want to get myself overexposed into a layer one blockchain. So I did not invest into Sonic. And I also have another thesis that if I'm a retail user, you tell me to buy Sonic, maybe I hear from an influencer, right? Oh, the influencer is telling me, the KOL is telling me, buy Sonic. Then I go on TradingView, I go on my exchange and I search for Sonic. There's no Sonic. Maybe there is actually another coin called Sonic. It has nothing to do with this one, right? A lot of people got confused. They will buy the wrong coin instead of this one because I find that the ticker here is very wrong. They shouldn't have just labeled it as. That for me is a big no-no to me, red flag to me. So hence, until they fix that, I'm not touching Sonic. That's my view. I know a lot of people say it's ridiculous, but it's just the way I see things. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a rebrand to a Phantom as well. So this has also happened, and because you're an OG crypto guy, I don't like it actually when companies rebrand, because what happens is they erase all of the chart's price action in history, and they hide the truth that a lot of these tokens crashed big time. But when it's now a new token and a new listing rebrand, they're trying to start fresh and trying to make everyone forget what their previous charts looked like. And it's really, really not, I don't like it personally. I get that it's a marketing thing. Cool. Just change the logo, but keep the ticker. Don't erase the chart's history. You're trying to make everyone forget that your token dumped down to the grave and like no one wanted to buy it. So rebranding, relisting is almost as bad as doing like a reverse stock split, trying to like trick everyone to thinking, oh, now your token or your stock is worth so much more now. Anyway, that's an aside for sure.
Okay, we can go to DOT next. Also another OG coin, also from the Ethereum project. Again, if I'm looking at the chart, for me there is better charts out there to trade. It's also in a consolidation zone, as you can see here. It's very similar to Chainlink. It's very similar to a lot of charts that you guys are talking about, especially the OG ones, right? Like XRP. They are all just consolidating right now. They are all just going sideways right now. So if you trade inside this channel, it's very risky, because what we could see is this thing can just ping pong, ping pong, ping pong until maybe September, October, right? And for those of you who are active traders, what's going to happen is you're going to get your stop loss hit a lot, and you're losing money every single day and you don't even know. So I'd rather trade a trending chart, whether it's downtrend or uptrend, it doesn't matter. But I try to avoid this unless I'm trading breakout. So I'll wait for the breakout to happen. So I'll just put an alert. What I can do is I can just go to TradingView, add an alert here on the horizontal ray here. So when it pops up, then I pay attention to it. Otherwise, I just put it on the back of my mind. I don't even look into it.
Okay. Man, this is really good. I mean, we got 3 minutes left in the stream. Maybe we take one of these bottom of the barrel coins that I've never even heard of before, and I'll give it to you.
Okay, sure. Let's do it.
Oh gosh. Let's do SNEK. SNEK. I see people asking about that. I literally,
What's
I think
that?
I don't know. These people, such degens. I love it.
Okay, well, let's see where it's listed. Not even on a central. Oh, maybe it's on Big Get. Okay, let's see if there's a chart here.
Yeah, Big Get, Kraken, CoinEx, Gate.io.
Okay, is this the best one, Kraken? Let me see Maxi. Maxi usually has the longest history.
Did you guys pick up what he said? It's the same thing I've told you too. Don't just pick the first chart. Pick the chart with the most history. Keep going, man. You're doing great.
Let's take a quick look. So what I like to do is that when I see a pump like this, right, I'll just use Fibonacci just to map up where the area is. So it's sitting at the 786 area, so I'm not bullish because of that. Because I need to see a bounce of this area. So my view is, for those of you who trade Fibonacci, I know there's a lot of ways to trade Fibonacci and different people does it very differently. So this area here is the 0.786, and this area here is what I call the last line of support. So if price touched this line and it doesn't have a massive bounce, for me, that's bearish. That means there's no volume to try to defend the price here. So for me personally, I wouldn't pay too much attention to this coin right now, unless you are in a cabal and this is a coin that you guys are planning to pump somehow. You know something that I don't. But chart-wise, just purely chart-wise, because I don't even know what this thing is. You know, I don't even know what this thing does. Is it like it's a meme coin on Cardano? No wonder.
It's a Cardano meme coin. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
You're even more interested in it now, aren't you?
Not really.
You
not
just
really.
can't
Not
wait
at
to
all.
get your hands on it. You're just gonna
Not
buy
really.
all the entire supply after this live stream.
Maybe it goes all the way here. Then your risk reward ratio is going to be very, very good. So you can accumulate some here. And if it does this, maybe a little bounce up, you can sell, right? But like charts like this, I wouldn't trade because it has broken the 618, it has broken the 786. This is for me a support level. This is the last line of support. If the market makers don't even come and defend this support, I think this is maybe go one more round up and then we might just go all the way down. So for me, I just don't want to waste my time, my resources, and my capital on this. There are better charts. I'd rather buy Trump coin, to be honest. And a lot of people ask me why Trump coin. I'm not shilling Trump coin here. Let me explain my logic here. I feel like Trump is the #1 crypto influencer in the world right now, right? It's not Coin Bureau. I'm sorry, Nick, not you, but it's Donald Trump. He says something, the market moves, right?
For better or worse, but yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like he would do something to pump his own coin somehow, sometime in the future. So I know it's not the best analysis, it's hopium. But if you ask me if that's a meme coin that I felt like has a potential to rally upwards in the next maybe 6 to 12 months, well, look, for me, it's Trump coin. But the key is to buy cheap, to be able to buy at a very, very low price.
Wow. I was not expecting you to say that whatsoever. That's wild. I mean, I forgot what I was going to ask you to wrap it up. I think you just finished the live stream for us because you literally just depleted my last question. But I think what everyone should pay attention to in this is that Des and I come from not just different passport countries, not just different cultures, but even different ways to approach the market. So you can learn a lot from him as well as from me. I mean, if you speak his language and you can subscribe to the Coin Bureau, is it Southeast Asia?
Chinese,
is that what the
Chinese Coin Bureau Chinese? The
Chinese Coin Bureau channel, go for it. I can't understand. Although YouTube has a really cool function now where some videos will automatically translate into whatever language you want. I think there's like 11 supported languages. But the point being that we don't come from the same place. So of course we're going to approach charting and trading differently, but there's still great insights to learn from him as well as from Dan, as well as from Guy and Nick and people that are coming here on these live streams. So, I mean, if you guys are learning stuff from these live streams and you've taken out your notebook and you've been writing stuff, what I would love for you to do is in the comment section, leave a comment with what you've learned, what you've taken away from this video. Des has shared literally so much alpha with you guys today. It's amazing. I've learned a lot from him. I'm going to be thinking about a lot of the stuff that he shared to help me become a better trader. If you guys are just watching this and going on to the next video, you're doing yourselves a major disservice. Take the time to sit on what we talked about. Disagree with it. Totally fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You're definitely not going to hurt Des's feelings. But sit on it. Ask yourself, why are they saying that? I don't agree with that. Why does that make me upset? What do I think is going to happen? Why do I think that, like, spend some time. Don't just blindly follow everything that people say online. This is how you learn to become a better trader. So you take in information that's beneficial to you from different people, and it helps to grow your character, your trading psychology, your mindset, so that way you can do better. That's what we want. Any other closing words, Des?
Guys, just remember to take profit. I know a lot of people in crypto right now, especially for those of you who's been buying since the last few months, you're in profit. I'm not asking you to take out 100% of the profit, but I would say you take profit when you can. I've seen so many people lost so much money, not because they couldn't get the good entries, but because they got too greedy and they keep holding and holding and holding. They were not following a game plan. I think we are nearing the weekend now. Maybe on this Saturday and Sunday, take some time off. Draw out your game plan. At what price are you planning to take profit? Like you guys know at what price this year I will take profit for Ethereum, right? So if I take profit out of Ethereum, I'm not gonna feel bad if I take too early, because maybe Ethereum can go to 7K. But if I take out profit at 3.7, 3.5, it's okay, because that's part of my game plan. I will rotate the money into other things. I could be trading stocks. I could be using that money to go into smaller caps. No problem at all. The key here is you must survive the game. And to survive the game, you must have profits. You must have money. Like we're talking about fiat money. We're talking about USDT at least, or USDC at least, right? Otherwise, if you're out of the game and bear market comes, you're holding a bunch of these altcoins, you cannot buy stuff with these altcoins, guys. Remember what I said, right? So be alert about that, have a game plan, be disciplined, and I'm very sure all of you will do well this cycle.
I'm gonna take my mic off and just drop it. Like that's it. That's perfect. Literally almost word for word stuff I've been saying a lot over the last couple of weeks. I just get this weird feeling now, and it's not to say that I'm a bear at all. I don't like being bearish, but I also don't like holding on to red bags that are going to drop another 80-90%. So I've learned my lesson over and over. Taking profits, no one ever went broke taking a profit. So Des, you're the man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on today's live stream. Tell us again where we can find you online, where we can follow you, all that good stuff.
Sure, guys. What you can do is that you can just go on YouTube and you can just search for Coin Bureau Chinese. We're on also the main Coin Bureau channel. You can just go to the sub playlist and just look for us, Coin Bureau Chinese. Some of our videos are actually in English because oftentimes we interview certain experts. Like, for example, we just interview SUI's co-founder Costas to give us some alpha, what's coming to SUI. That will be in English, but we will have a Chinese subtitle to serve our Chinese community as well. So definitely go over there, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys on my channel. That's all. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You guys, you've learned a lot. Leave a comment down below with what you've learned. Share this live stream. It will seriously help a lot of people. Okay. So until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.
Bye-bye.